when I say see who you are, it can be scary. It can be daunting at first. Everything is daunting and scary and kind of fearful at first. But what you do with that energy and how you could transmute that is up to you. Is you waiting for things to change, or are you going to be the change? Welcome to the Essence of True Self podcast, where we affirm I am the son of my creation. Here I focus on mindfulness, limiting belief, self-care, spirituality, and overall becoming your true self. I'm your host, Oriana, a book, tea, and self-development lover. I give you tips and tricks of what I learned on my self-development journey so you can apply to yours. If you're interested, keep listening. Hey, welcome back to the Essence of True Self podcast, and I'm your host, Oriana, and I hope your week, your day, your evening is going pretty well. If not, of course, I'm seeing you love and light in this time. And if you don't know already, I do readings, mediumships, spiritual consult, or just any advice that you need to up level your life to the best of your abilities. You can check all that in the description below. And if you want to join my email list and receive a free shadow work e-guide, you can click that below as well. And before we get into anything, of course, we're going to do some breathing and saying our affirmations. Who you know? And the credits of Miss De'Ara Taylor. But real, let's get into it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now we're going to get into the affirmations. I am the son of my creation. I'm the son of my creation. I'm the son of my creation. I hope that grounds you and centers you into this present moment and being open and receptive to the message I have for you today. And as you can tell by the title, I want to talk about how journaling changed my life. Okay? They might seem dramatic to people, but it really did change my life for the better. And let's give a little backstory. Like, okay, when I was a kid, my auntie, she was like a writer, journaling all the time, like putting out her thoughts on paper. And I thought that was weird. I was just like, what is this? What is this? I was so prideful as a kid and very like standing on my own and being very strong. Just the way I was grew up and how I really expressed myself and being very aggressive and things like that. But I just very prideful and didn't feel like I needed to write my feelings down. You wouldn't be like, well, the way you act now doesn't really seem. Younger me would tell you different ways, okay? I wasn't the best person. Let's just say, I had to go through my phases to become the person who I am today. And my auntie was always tell me, like, write down your feelings. Write it all down. Write. And I'm like, writing. But I was very subconscious about writing. If you haven't watched the last episode, I was talking a little bit about that. Like, writing was very, like, a struggle for me. And like reading was a struggle for me, and now I do it so easily now as an adult because I had trained myself and practice over the time to be able to be comfortable with writing and comfortable with reading and comfortable actually speaking out loud because I used to be scared to even speak out loud. So when she would tell me that, I'd just be like, no, get somebody else to do it because I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Just like that. Just like that with the attitude and all, with the head rolling and all that, if you're watching the video form. And I was just like, get somebody else. And little do I know, years later as an adult and finally moving out of my hometown and out of my living house that I have grown up, my childhood house, and I would just be like, now I have all these patterns that I have developed over the years, and all these habits and these beliefs and these ideas of my life and how it should be. And I kind of got lost in the pattern of doing toxic stuff all the time. And it would just be crazy shit going on all the time. Don't get me wrong, I was the source of it all. But I was always wondering, why does this always have to be something going on? Always something going on. And I'm like, why is the same stuff happening in different people, but the same energy, the same spirit in the body? And it was who I was, attracting different type of people that did not serve me as well or serve me as good, because I didn't feel good about myself. So I was tired. I was tired of getting heartbroken. I was tired of being mad. I was tired of being frustrated. And in that time in my life, I was going through so many different things, learning to live not by myself, but outside of my hometown childhood house, and finding who I am as a person. And little did I know, I didn't know who the hell I was. I was just a different form of myself through school, through from my hometown. I keep saying my hometown. From school and from my childhood, and different versions of me I have grown into, but necessarily didn't serve me the greatest way of living to be the best version of myself. And when I understood that I didn't know who the hell I was and didn't know who I was at all, and then when I would make friends, I would be morphed into their energy. I always want to be around them and really engulf their energy into mine, and I end up becoming like them because I didn't know who I was. Just to be raw and honest, I didn't. And that really affected how I was as a person because I didn't know myself. And it made me feel any type of way because I always wanted to be like other people but didn't want to be with myself because I truly didn't like myself. I didn't know myself, I didn't like myself, and I didn't like to be by myself. So a lot about myself a long time, and that really affect how I really showed up into the world and who I was as a person. And then when the situationship didn't turn out the way I was hoping it was turn out, and I was just heartbroken. I was really going through a hard time in my life, and I didn't feel good about myself, and I was just wondering why me? Why does this keep happening to me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, this is so irritating because I have to go through the same thing over and over again. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. And then I started doing research of like, how can I be the best version of myself? How can I really tap into who I need to be as a person? And I just start writing. Like, I would say over the time, before I get into like the further story, over the time, like when things was really hard in my life, I would pick up a page and write a couple of sentences. But that's about it. It'll be months or even years later before I even pick up another page. And I noticed that was another habit of mine, of me picking up a piece of paper or a journal to write just one page and never picking it up again in months and years later. And it was always something hard in my life. And now when I picked up journaling 2 years ago and really made it a habit and a routine and a ritual for me, it really helped me see myself. Even though I was just first just really just brain dumping and putting it all on a piece of paper and allowing to flow through me, even if it didn't make sense, even if it didn't grammarly correct. Even when I first started writing, I was being hard on myself because, like I said, I wasn't the best speaker. I wasn't the best writer. I wasn't the best reader because I was shy to actually be myself because I was afraid to be judged because I was bullied as a kid and being judged just by existing. People projected on me all my life. So it was just like, dang, I don't want to do this wrong too, you know? And eventually I just let it flow instead of just constant being hard on myself about what I'm writing, what I'm putting on a piece of paper, and what am I doing with my life. That really started it all for me. Writing, journaling. And at first, I didn't really write that much. I probably write probably half a page, and I worked up to 2 pages. Then I worked up to I said 2 pages. I worked up to half a page, and then a full page, and then 2 pages, and probably sometimes 3 pages. And finding my own format of writing, and then going into journal prompts and facing what's really going on deep inside of me, and allowing things to come up when it needs to come up. And as I was doing these journaling things, I was still looking up journaling videos and how to be easy on myself when it's journaling, and like TikToks and YouTube and articles, and just other people expressing what journaling did for them. And I really honed in on that because I just felt so alone as my going into my adultness. Because I moved out at 22 years old, and I think 22 or 23, one of them. And I was just out here just doing too much. I felt free as a bird, but I didn't know who I was. So it was just even more dangerous to be caught up in other people's habits and behaviors. So when I finally sat down and started writing and journaling, it just started peeling back the layers of like all the stuff that I was doing wasn't me. It wasn't who I was. It wasn't who I wanted to be in this lifetime. I always had big dreams and big ideas and ways to live my life, and I constantly keep doing things that doesn't feed my soul. And that's when I realized, I was like, what I'm doing now, working in accounting and doing all these crazy things, is not me. Hanging around with people and smoking and drinking all the time, it's not me. It was me. And once upon a my time, I had to go through those phases to understand what's for me and what's not for me. But it was still just a lot of coping with all the trauma and pain I was going through as a kid, as an adult, as a teenager. Like all that was like piling up on each other, and it was bleeding into my adult life. And that really just set in stone for me. Like, if I really want better for myself, I have to be better mentally. And when I'm better mentally, I will be able to take action steps and have the inspiration to take action steps to make my life better. And that really what unlocks it all. Like me brain dumping, I will first start writing at nighttime right before I go to bed, or like during my lunch break when I was working from home, and really tapping into that energy and peeling back the layers of like what's really going on with me, and allow all the thoughts that I be thinking on day in and day out to be on paper, instead of holding in and thinking all these negative things about myself. And when I started doing that, that's when clarity, understanding myself, holding myself, being compassionate with myself, being kind to myself happened. And they really shape who I am today to be able to do all the things that I'm doing right now. If I didn't start writing and start journaling and having hopes and dreams and goals, and started small with my goals and building up to big goals, I won't be having this podcast right now. I wouldn't even be speaking to you guys right now. And journaling really put things in perspective, allow me to dive deep within myself, because I always say, if you know yourself, nobody can tell you who you are. And when I say these things, I've been through having people constantly tell me who I am, and then I morph into that and still not being liked, and still not even liking myself, and even be even harder on myself because I even listen to those people. But now I'm just like, I don't listen to people who does not understand me on a deep level, who don't even know me truly. And when I can spot people when they try to project on me, and I just be like, that's not me. I don't know who that is. Sorry to that lady, but I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. And it's just like, I do not allow myself to be in positions that I don't need to be in. That does not align with who I'm meant to be in this lifetime. And me right now is just coming to the point in my life that a way to express yourself. And I think for me, journaling is such an intimate thing for you. If and then, if you want to share with the world, that's up to you. But it's something intimate for you to constantly show up for yourself and constantly encourage yourself and constantly be real and raw with yourself. Because a lot of time we hold these ideas and believe in these thought patterns in our mind, but we never actually express it. So it's just a lot of compression and compression and compression and start spilling out on other people and not in a way that we expect it to be expressed. And I always say, everybody go through trauma, pain, or somebody went through something in their life. Everybody go through something in our life, whether it's small, big, or drastic, or medial, the word small. And we choose to express it the way we want to express it. And the only person who will understand if this healthy for us, is this serving us, is us. So how do you expect anybody to really know you if you don't even know yourself? And that's when journaling became my best friend. I journal up to this day. I wake up every morning and journal. And I play with different ways of how I want to format my journaling. And that's why I made my journal now. Pour into yourself journal, and it's just like a digital journal PDF that you can use it however you want to. You can print it out, do it on your iPad, your phone, different ways you want to use it to help pour into yourself, to help show up for yourself, to constantly be the person you want to be. And journaling changed my life to see who I am, to understand, to feel and show compassion, to love all of me, to constantly pour into me and allow this to be my safe haven, to be who I'm meant to be. And once you constantly writing things down and expressing yourself, it's not going to be as hard for you to express yourself in a physical form because you've been practicing writing it down, then you put it in action, build up the process of doing that, and then you can be all of you to become your true essence of yourself. And that's why I really want to make this digital journal called Pour Into Yourself Journal to, show up for yourself. So the first column, if you do get it, you will see that it just a regular 3 pages. I want to give like a maximum 3 page section for like brain dumps, journal prompts, or love letter manifestation. And then after the 3 pages, you will see gratitude, and then you'll say affirm. Gratitude column is more of pouring back to just pretty much seeing the glorious things in your life, being grateful the way you live, the way you think, the way you feel, you having a roof over your head, food to eat, different ways to uplift your life in the best way as possible. And gratitude can help uplift your energy and manifest great things into your life. You be grateful for the small things. Of course, you can be grateful for big things. And that's how things slowly manifest into your life better and better over time. And then affirm is like pretty much writing down your affirmation to pour back into yourself, to love on yourself. Because when we like in the first column, in the first section, you will see that you pouring out your thoughts and stuff. And it might not always be good. But when you in and off this journaling exercise and routine of your journaling, you want to end it off with gratitude of like what you already have. And even though things is not going as well, if you don't feel as well about yourself, you can be grateful for what you already have, physical form, and being grateful that you even wrote this down and actually express yourself in a positive light, and then affirm to yourself like, I am the best, I'm the greatest, I am confident, I am capable, I am strong, like constantly pouring back into yourself. And that's the whole point of this journal, pouring back into yourself to build yourself back up after going through dumping out all your ideas or dumping out your thoughts and belief in your journal prompts and all these other things. It will help you bring up the uplifting energy after writing all that down. And I really wanted to write this for people and make this for people who really want to heal themselves and grow into their best version of themselves, to see who they are. And when I say see who you are, it can be scary. It can be daunting at first. Everything is daunting and scary and kind of fearful at first. But what you do with that energy and how you could transmute that is up to you. Is you waiting for things to change, or are you going to be the change? The famous quote, what's on the other side of fear is your desires. You cannot let fear stop you from continuing to show up for yourself in the best ways possible. We stop ourselves from actually reaching our potential because we don't want to bypass fear. Fear is everyday thing. If you want to learn more about fear, I do have a video and a podcast episode about that. And I'll probably link that in the description box. If I don't, you can just scroll through, and it's probably like one of the earliest episodes in season 1. But fear is a necessary part of our process. Fear is something that we just don't know what's going to happen next. And we've been living in that state for so long. How do we expect to not grow through that? But yeah, this is how journaling changed my life. If you want to pick up the journal, you can, check it out in the description box below. It will be all below. And let me know if you're going to start journaling. What are something you want to learn from journaling? How can journaling can really uplift you? Put all that in the description box, the comments below. If you on the podcast, leave it in a review, and rate, like, subscribe, all that good stuff below that you love to do. And if you made it this far, let's leave a butterfly, because we is evolving into the best version of ourselves. But don't allow journaling to stop you from actually being who you need to be. Show up for yourself today. And don't wait for others people to tell you who you are when you can be who you are today. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something from my story and pick up the journal today. If you need any way to start, I also have that free shadow work e-guide below. So don't forget to check that out as well. Much love, family. I hope you're well. Hope you learned something from this. Until next time.